welcome to our weekly program, The Week in 30 Minutes. The program that brings to you a number of varied and different reports prepared by our team in the English News Department. This show tries to highlight the main events recently taking place throughout Kuwait. Our active team of reporters are keeping themselves busy around the week to cover and report on many fields in the country, such as education, culture, sports, arts, business, in addition to the events that are currently taking place in Kuwait and may concern you also. Our episode today is going to be divided into different parts. In the first one, we are going to host and interview His Excellency Jeff Hamilton, the Senior Commercial Officer at the Embassy of the United States in Kuwait, to discuss and tackle one of the events that our team recently covered. In the other part of the episode tonight, we will show our reports as we used to do. After the link, we will be receiving our guest for tonight's episode, so stay tuned with us. Your Excellency, thank you for joining us tonight, Mr. Jeff Hamilton, the Commercial Officer at the Embassy of the United States in Kuwait. Thank you for having the opportunity to be with us here tonight in our studio.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
The pleasure is ours. Your Excellency, our team recently could cover some of the events that are being prepared or organized under the patronage of the Embassy, the United States Embassy in Kuwait, which is the Discover America Week. Can you just give us some information, more details about this event?
Sure, I would love to. Last week, we just completed the third annual Discover America Week here in Kuwait, October 25th through 31st.
Yeah.
And this was an opportunity for us to organize a number of different events featuring American education, American music, American food, American restaurants, American fashion, and American business. So just to highlight a few of the different programs that we organized, we did 3 different educational fairs, one that was focused on U.S. high schools, one on U.S. universities, and one on graduate studies in the United States. Kuwait sends more students to the United States than any other GCC country except for Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And it's a great market and a great opportunity for Kuwaiti students to learn more and get a great education in the United States.
Of course.
We also brought in the Air Force Central Command Band, Full Spectrum. They were here for a little over a week. They're based in Doha, Qatar, and they performed 15 different concerts during their 8 days. They're a 9-piece band, and they play all sorts of different covers of famous U.S. songs. And so that was very popular, certainly. We also partnered with the Sultan Center, and they offered specials on on many of the 4,000 plus U.S. Food products that they sell. And we also had 23 restaurants and U.S. stores offering promotional discounts and whatnot on some of the different items in their stores. We had 4 different seminars on business topics that were very of great interest, close to 100 people at each one. One of the topics was on the FATCA, Foreign Tax Account Compliance Act. Another was on contracting opportunities with U.S. military bases in Kuwait. Another topic was cybersecurity, and a 4th session was on how the economy is projected to do in Kuwait amidst the current oil prices.
Yeah.
And finally, we did a number of receptions, one of which celebrated the 30th anniversary of the American Business Council in Kuwait, a private organization that promotes trade between the United States and Kuwait.
Yeah, that's interesting. I feel that these activities are varied, not only concentrating on the business, on the education. No, they are trying to cover so many fields at the same time.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
Exactly. It's really all of these types of things we do throughout the year, but they're interspersed and maybe there's a little bit of time in between each of the different events. So we tried to come up with a number of different events during one specific week so we could really focus on and highlighting the United States in all it has to offer during that 1 week.
Yeah. Mr. Hamilton, according to your statement right now, this is the third annual Discover America Week. Can you tell us if you find, or if the audience can find some differences between the third edition this year and the previous two ones?
Sure. The musical act was definitely a big hit this year, having a number of performances throughout Kuwait.
Yeah.
One thing I forgot to mention also was we highlighted U.S. automobiles, and we partnered with Chevrolet on unveiling 3 new editions of Chevrolet vehicles. But there was basically, it just keeps growing, and so maybe last year there were 15 restaurants and stores that were participating. This year there were 23 stores, and we hope it continues to grow in the future. Yeah, basically we have 3 educational events this year. Last year we had 1. It continues to grow, and in addition to that, this is the first year that it has gone beyond Kuwait. And actually in the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain, they also did a Discover America Week last week as well.
Yeah, like trying to spread your activities a little bit.
Exactly, it's expanding
Kuwait.
throughout the Gulf, and after that,
Yeah.
who knows where it'll end up. But it seems it's been a really successful event, and one that we plan to continue in the coming years as well.
Very interesting. As long as we mentioned the music as one of the activities of the Discover America Week, our team have had the opportunity to cover the musical band that was in the Avenues Mall, and we are going to show it right now. We will have the opportunity to show this as the Discover America Week. As part of the Discover America Week, the U.S. Embassy in Kuwait recently organized a live musical performance by the United States Air Force with the name Full Spectrum Band at the Avenues Mall. The U.S. Embassy launched Discover America Week 2015, highlighting the iconic U.S. fashion brands, food, film, music, education, business know-how, and tourism. Events took place throughout Kuwait City at different venues, including the Avenues, Sultan Center, Kuwait Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and other locations. Our reporter Ghanwa Jabouri brings us more.
A live musical performance by the United States Air Force Full Spectrum Band at the Avenues Mall came as a total surprise by shoppers, but indeed was it a happy surprise. The very talented Full Spectrum entertained the crowds with their artistic abilities. The band played a variety of popular rock, pop and country songs that had audiences wishing for more musical events as this one.
This year we have this wonderful band, Full Spectrum, which is a U.S. Air Force band that's come from Central Command in Florida. They have been performing here at the Avenues Mall today and also yesterday, and they were also on several radio stations here. So they're very new this year.
We're going to have a good time and yeah, hopefully put some smiles on some faces in the mall, maybe switch things up a little bit. I've been through Kuwait many a time, but this is the first time I've really been able to play in a public forum like this. So it's really great, very different. And yeah, it's nice having these kids sing along to all these songs.
Full Spectrum, a high-energy band with a dynamic team of musicians, have the unique ability to truly play and a full spectrum of music ranging from pop, hip-hop, funk and R&B, Latin and classic rock.
Well, we're bringing this high-energy rock band, Full Spectrum, to the performances, and they're communicating brilliantly with music how cultural exchange is important, and how bringing some America to Kuwaitis it's really good thing to do.
Full Spectrum's performance positively resonated with the crowds, who were indeed inspired by the music and songs that were performed. The music not only delighted the crowds, but seemed to touch many of them on a personal level, who displayed a great deal of passion for music.
Bringing music and laughter to the Avenues Mall, brought to you by Discover America Week. From the Avenues Mall, I'm Ghanwa Jabouri reporting to you for the week in 30 minutes.
a live musical performance by the United States Air Force Full Spectrum.
Your Excellency, welcome again to our show, to this episode of The Week in 30 Minutes. Back to our discussion again, I think the Discover America Week, we can say that it's one of the means or one of the ways that can strengthen the bilateral relations between Kuwait and the United States. How do you see these relations in general, and how do you see how can we develop these relations, especially in the commercial field?
Certainly, yes. There's no question that the United States and Kuwait have a long, deep history with each other and a great relationship with each other. Specifically with the commercial area, which is the area that I work in the last 5 years, the trade between Kuwait and the United States has tripled. So trade is increasing at a very good rate over the last 5 years, but certainly there's always more that can be done. We see opportunities for U.S. firms in Kuwait in different infrastructure projects. There's a lot of infrastructure projects that are looking to be developed here over the next 5 years, 5-10 years. Certainly the airport being one of them, the expansion of the airport, rail, developing some rail in Kuwait and throughout the GCC region. Residential housing opportunities, construction opportunities, potentially a metro in Kuwait. So there are a lot of opportunities for U.S. companies in Kuwait, and we're part of my role is to help and try to promote those opportunities. Some of the areas where improvement can be seen is just in the tendering process and in the when the government is looking to purchase a solution or find a contractor. Oftentimes there are often delays, and sometimes the tenders get stopped and then restarted and stopped and restarted, and that can be costly for businesses that are trying to bid on those different opportunities. So that's some area definitely of improvement, the area that could be improved upon. But overall, there is a lot of opportunity for trade between the two countries, and it's grown a lot over the last 5 years. We also promote Kuwaiti investment in the United States, and that's also been a very fast-growing area. And there's almost about $2 billion worth of Kuwaiti investment in the United States, and that's something we also are promoting.
Yeah. So at the end of our interview tonight, do you think you want to add any information to our viewers tonight? Anything you want to say?
Certainly. Thank you for the opportunity, first to be here and to promote Discover America Week, and also to promote a little bit about what the commercial section at the U.S. Embassy does. We try to help Kuwaiti companies that are looking to find providers from the United States or equipment from the United States. This past week, one of the specialists in my office was in Las Vegas with a group of 25 Kuwaiti companies in the automotive industry attending the SEMA and Apex automotive trade shows, which is the largest, there are 2 trade shows, but it's the largest trade show, 2 trade shows in the world, over 130,000 people that attended. On Sunday, myself and another person will be in Dubai for the Dubai Air Show for a few days, as that's a very important aviation and defense show, and we're bringing a number of Kuwaitis will be at that show as well. And we're also recruiting delegations to the Arab Health Show in Dubai in January, the World of Concrete Show in February in Las Vegas, and then the OTC oil and gas show in Houston in May. And so these are opportunities that where we could assist Kuwaitis that are looking to purchase quality U.S. goods, and we can help facilitate introductions to U.S. companies at these different trade shows.
Yeah, I believe that so many of our viewers tonight will be very interested in these upcoming events.
Great.
Mr. Jeff Hamilton, the senior commercial officer at the Embassy of the United States in Kuwait, thank you so much for having the opportunity to be with us here today in the studio of The Week in 30 Minutes. It was our pleasure tonight. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Likewise. It was a pleasure for me as well.
Thank you. Dear viewers, stay tuned with us as the second part of our episode of The Week in 30 Minutes is about to start. Stay tuned. Welcome back, dear viewers, to the last part of our weekly program, The Week in 30 Minutes. On the occasion of the National Day of the Czech Republic, the Czech ambassador to Kuwait, His Excellency Martin Vitek, held a reception at the Regency Hotel, Kuwait. The event was attended by a large gathering of members of the diplomatic corps, dignitaries, business and social elite, as well as media personnel. Here is more on the event in this report by Salim Al-Kendari.
It is worth noting that the Czech Republic and Kuwait have long and friendly relations that stretch back to 1963, when the former Czechoslovakia was among the first countries to recognize the sovereignty and independence of Kuwait. The Czech embassy has been present in Kuwait for over 5 decades now, and in 2013 celebrated the 50th anniversary of establishing diplomatic ties with Kuwait. Speaking to the media earlier, the ambassador said that they very much value cordial ties between his country and Kuwait and are committed to further strengthening them in all spheres. Kuwait is an influential player, especially in the regional and Arab context, and that they look forward to cooperating with the country on the political arena in pursuing mutual interests. Encouraging Kuwaiti businesses to invest in the Czech Republic, the ambassador pointed out that with over 10 bilateral agreements covering various spheres of mutual relations, the two countries had all the economic and regulatory frameworks in place to broaden bilateral trade and investments. From the Regency Hotel, this is Salim Kendari reporting for The Week in 30 Minutes.
The Canadian Embassy in Kuwait recently held its Study in Canada exhibition, organized by the Embassy of Canada as the 10th annual Edu-Canada Middle East and North Africa (MENA) tour visited Kuwait to help students make informed choices about higher education in Canada. A high volume of students showed up with their parents at the Jumeirah Mesila Beach Hotel, where the education fair was held to better understand the benefits of choosing to study in Canada. A delegation of 20 reputable Canadian universities and colleges participated in the education fair. Reporter Ghanwa Jabouri brings us more.
Representatives of around 18 leading Canadian universities and colleges were recently present at the Jumeirah Beach Hotel to meet students, parents, teachers and guidance counsellors to present the advantages of studying in Canada during Education Canada's tour in Kuwait.
Tonight we are here during our 10th anniversary of the Middle Eastern Tour. Canadian universities have been coming to Kuwait for 10 years now. Every year we get more and more, and we're eagerly looking for Kuwaiti students who would love to go to school in Canada, and here's their opportunity to ask all their questions to the universities about visas, what it's like to live in Canada and study there. So we're looking forward to welcoming all the great students here in Kuwait.
I feel great to be here today, to be in Kuwait and representing not only Sheridan College but also representing Canadian education as well. Sheridan College is one of those great colleges where people can actually fulfill their dreams with all the applied education that we present there. We have many programs, we have many international students, over 4,500 students that we have at Sheridan College. Part of a population of 25,000 students altogether. We are proud to be here in Kuwait today. Many students are highly interested to study in Canada. We are offering very high quality education, and we really hope that with our education, all the Kuwaiti students and learners can come and experience education. It's not only a matter of education inside the college, but it's education in a whole community next to Toronto. Toronto greater area is an amazing place, and students will really get some very unique experience in addition to very much of hands-on training.
Potential students and their parents attended the exhibition, who spoke with participating representatives from Canadian educational institutions to learn about the opportunities that are available in Canada.
Tonight we have around 15 institutes coming from all over Canada, namely from 6 provinces. We have language institutes, we have colleges, we have universities. Canada has something different, that most of these institutes are publicly funded, so the government regulates and makes sure that the quality of education is really consistent across Canada. So you get really the top quality education in these institutes.
Higher education in Canada has always held a strong niche in the educational arena on a global level due to its superior quality, and is further privileged with embracing a multicultural community.
Higher education is certainly a treasure which students obviously appreciate. From the Jumeirah Hotel, I'm Gemma Jabouri reporting to you for the week in 30 minutes.
The UN House in Kuwait, or Sheikh Subah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Subah building, organized a grand ceremony to celebrate the 70th anniversary of the UN Charter. Since joining the UN in the year 1963, Kuwait has spared no effort in backing the humanitarian causes and supporting the UN responses to the various emergencies around the world. Let's watch this report.
Deputy Foreign Minister Khalid Al-Jahrallah reaffirmed Kuwait's commitment to UN efforts to shoulder its responsibility under the UN Charter for promoting peace, security, human rights and development around the globe. He said in a speech at a celebration by the UN House in Kuwait to mark the 70th anniversary that the state of Kuwait, as a UN member, takes pride in the achievements made by the global organization in the political, social and economic fields over the last 7 decades. Al-Jahrallah urged doubling the efforts of the international community to address the new and complicated challenges and backing the activities of the specialized agencies of the UN.
I would like to welcome you today for the United Nations 70th anniversary at the United Nations House, the house of His Highness Sheikh Subah Al Ahmed Jaber Subah. And in this occasion, I would like to express our sincere gratitude and appreciation to the State of Kuwait for all the support that has been given to the international community, to the international humanitarian community. The assistance of Kuwait has become safeguards for so many people around the world. Thank you so much for the Kuwaiti people, for His Highness the Emir, and for all concerned.
This is a very important occasion for all the UN agencies. It's a moment of reflection of what the UN and all its agencies has achieved and what is also coming ahead. And as you know, recently there was the UN summit, out of which there is a huge agenda that's coming out with 17 goals to fulfill. And that's for us also a major undertaking that we will be assuming, inshallah, as of the 2016, and hopefully to support the countries we are, servicing, like the country of Kuwait, the state of Kuwait, in achieving those goals and fulfilling them as, part of the global commitment to these 17 goals.
The UN opened its first office representing the UN Development Programme UNDP in Kuwait in 1963, and since then other UN agencies followed suit, which took the number of the UN missions in Kuwait to 13 so far. Thanks to the humanitarian policy and wise leadership of His Highness the Emir, Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, Kuwait has hosted 3 international humanitarian pledging conferences for the Syrian people since 2013. The UN, since it was founded in 1945, has helped more than 80 countries to attain independence and deployed 69 peacekeeping missions to restore stability in several parts of the world. From UN House in Mishrif area, I am Heba Abdurrahman reporting for the Week in 30 Minutes.
With these reports, we reach the end of our episode of The Week in 30 Minutes tonight. We will wait for you, our viewers, next week at the same time, as our colleagues of reporters will continue their great efforts in bringing you the most recent stories about what is happening around us. To be at your best expectations, we would love to receive your very significant feedback of our stories that we have presented to you tonight. We also accept your kind invitations to cover any topics or events that matter most to you in any field. For better communications, email us your suggestions and invitations for events at moikuwaitnews@gmail.com. Also, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at MOI Kuwait News. And for a chance to see our reports once again, you can visit our YouTube channel at MOI Kuwait News. Thank you for joining us tonight. See you next week with more exclusive and entertaining reports and exclusive interviews. Have a good night.